recording. Yeah, there that goes. And so everyone's muted. So, so Sandy, we're ready for you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to, Jeff is in Houston visiting the granddaughters today. So I'm going to do a traditional American song called Amazing Grace that everyone knows. It's played on the Native American flute frequently. A lot of the Native Americans on the Trail of Tears, they sang the song and played it, and it's very popular. So I have a double flute today, and I'll start out, just do the melody on one side, the single side, and then on the second verse, it'll have a drone, so it'll sound kind of like a bagpipe or something.
Pretty, very pretty.
That was amazing.
Very nice,
No pun
very
intended.
nice.
Amazing and graceful. Yeah, that's a wonderful sounding instrument. It's a wonderful sounding instrumentalist too.
That's one of the oldest instruments in the European world. Is the duet pipe with a drone and a melody. It's in every Mediterranean culture and then some.
Yeah, this one's made out of black walnut. Just every one I have is made out of a different wood, but this is a black walnut is the wood.
Oh, hey, Allison is back. Would you be able to give us a tune now? Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'm muting here, so I'll have to unmute once more. Okay, all ready.
Wonderful. So I'm going to be playing the Tom Bigby Waltz. It's in the key of G, and I have Robot Owl with me tonight. So thanks.
Tom Bigby Waltz.
Yay, yay, very nice.
Lovely.
Just delicious. Well, Stuart, can you give us one? I am muting.
No, Circle C.
Oh, okay.
All ready when you're ready.
So I got to put my stage lights on and my fog machine, you know. So bear with me. This is a song. Oh, I've got a new string. Let me just make sure my A string is still in A. Hey. This is a song from 1970, written by a guy called Don Reed. Don Reed was one of the two brothers in the Statler Brothers. Harold was the bass, who died, I think, just recently. Anyway, this is a song where there are two villains in this song. One is the guy who gets his girlfriend pregnant and then takes no responsibility for the child. And the other villain is New York City. And New York City gets mentioned 5 times in this song. And the name of this song is New York City. She came to me shortly after Christmas, said she hated spoiling New Year's Eve, but the truth doesn't wait to come in season, and what we had feared was now believed. She said she'd leave come Monday morning, catch a plane if I would split the fare. She said she had friends in New York City. She looked them up and have the baby there. Now she's alone in New York City, living like Lord, I wonder how. An angel in hell in New York City, but I can't think about that now. Honey, will you tell him Bible stories? Give him all the love I never could, but never tell him too much about his daddy, 'cause there's not much to say that's good. He'll have to learn it all from his mother, how to count and say his ABCs. But when you teach him prayers to say at bedtime, leave off God bless Daddy, won't you please? Now they're alone in New York City, living like Lord, I wonder how. Two angels in hell in New York City, but I can't think about that now. I can't think about that now.
Very nice. A little rough on New York, but
Well, it was
I thought the
1970.
songwriter should be rougher on himself and easier on New York.
Well, it was 1970. It was a rough time in New York then, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
New Yorker is speaking here.
Yeah, Liz is fairly outraged here. So she's a native New Yorker.
Hey, come on, it's the
New York
Statler
City.
Brothers. They know their audience.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it was Statler Brothers. I guess, well, we'll make allowances. Okay. So, who are we up to? Al and Karen, or one or the other, or both of you? I'm muting in anticipation that you will unmute.
Go. I think we're I've got my robot Al again. I'm going to be playing the Cajun tune, Mamu Two-Step. I think. All right.
Yes, great. Will we get a tune from Karen this time, or are we gonna move along here? No, no, okay. All righty, then that puts us up to Tom. Yeah, let's see, Tom. He's all hat and no catterall, only doggerel. So we'd love some of that. So I am muting everyone. So unmute and proceed, Tom, when you're ready.
I love autumn's uncertainties. Wind and variant rains again, weeds rising for the flickering sun, whether it be the elections of volunteers or the weeds of political plans, fragile this swing between the tyranny of sunshine and the sweet kiss of sky nights. Once seasons arrived like children in their time, now bluster, lightning, thunder, wondering to blame the stars. Other nations eat their dust, deserted cities, refugee camps, tents under Austin overpass. Thin shelter from one nuclear sun, the bark of dogs, batons, guns, anger eats its own children. Winter's thin relief replaced by endless summer sacrifice, social distance, face blast. Numbers rise like temperatures. First the old and vulnerable, next the young en route to school. We learn the way the weather is, the way we are, not ever were before, hiding from more endless wars. Yet still wildflowers rise in light to steal our eyes to deep delight. Even with a rhyming couplet. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
David, thank you.
That was really good. Okay, moving along to Warsaw. Mark, is Hanya still there? Is she gonna give us an offering? Here, I'm muting.
Yes, Hanya is in the other room as watching either her news programs or
I
tennis.
see. Well, it was nice to get at least a glimpse of her face here. So I'm muting, so you will have to unmute once more. Okay.
I'm unmuted, okay. And this is a song about the history of a chartered accountant, okay? You'll recognize it. When I was a lad, I served a term as office boy in an attorney's firm. I cleaned the windows and I swept the floor and I polished up the handle of the big front door. I polished up that handle so carefully that now I'm the ruler of the Queen's Navy. He polished up the handle so carefully that now he is the ruler of the Queen's Navy. That's the voices of his sisters and his cousins and his aunts, remember? Okay. As office boy, I made such a mark that they gave me the voice as the post of a junior clerk. I served the writs with a smile so bland, and I copied all the letters in a big round hand. I copied all the letters in a hand so free that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy. I copied all the letters in the hand so free that now I'm the ruler of the Queen's Navy. In serving writs, I made such a name that an article clerk I soon became. I wore clean collars and a brand new suit for the pass examination at the Institute. Pass examination at the Institute. That pass examination did so well for me that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy. Okay, now, of legal knowledge, I acquired such grip that they took me into a partnership. And that junior partnership, I ween, is the only ship that I ever have seen, the only ship that he ever has seen. But that kind of ship so suited me that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy. I grew so rich that I was sent by pocket borough into Parliament. I always voted at my party's call, and I never thought of thinking for myself at all. I thought so little they rewarded me by making me the ruler of the Queen's Navy. Thought so little that they rewarded me by making him the ruler of the Queen's Navy. Now, landsmen all, whoever you may be, if you want to rise to the top of the tree, if your soul isn't fettered to an office stool, be careful to be guided by this golden rule. Stick close to your desks and never go to sea, and you all may be rulers of the Queen's Navy. Close to your desk and never go to sea, and you all may be rulers of the Queen's Navy.
Thank you, Mark. And so do your sisters and your cousins and your aunts and your brothers and your sisters and your cousins by the dozens and your aunts.
and Gilbert and Sullivan.
And Gilbert and Sullivan. And it's just unfortunately. You were going to say something? It's just unfortunate that the song is so contemporary.
Yes. Well, I was going to leave that, as to everyone else to understand. There are other songs that are terribly contemporary.
And work on that.
The only ship he was ever in was a partnership, so.
Yes. Okay.
That's wordplay.
So Mary Jane, good to see you. I am muting. I'm muting for you.
Okay, you might have noticed I've got a new kazoo. That's because my old one broke and I had to get a new one, but I'm going to get the other one back fixed. So I'm going to have two kazoos. I can't play them both at the same time, though. The song I was going to do today is the St. James Infirmary, and I was pretty sure it was a traditional song, but I did look it up, and apparently there was a court case where it really was a traditional song, but one person whose name was both Joe Primrose and Irving Mills with I think Joe Primrose being his professional name, had written a version. He had a version of the song and he copyrighted it, and he prevailed in court. So you could say it was really a Joe Primrose song, but it was a traditional song before it became that. So I didn't know any of this, of course, until I looked it up on Wikipedia. So anyway, St. James Infirmary in A minor, or no, I'm going to capo it up. So I think it's going to be technically in B minor. The first chord would be a B minor if I capo it up. But no, I'm not going to capo it up. That's a different song. So forget that. It's going to be in A minor's the first chord. I went down to old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square. The drinks were served as usual, and the usual crowd was there. On my left stood Big Joe Kennedy, and his eyes were bloodshot red. He looked at the gang around him, and these were the very words he said. I went down to the St. James Infirmary. I saw my baby there. She was stretched out on a long white table, so cold, so pale, so fair. Let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. She can ramble this wide world over and never find another man like me. Bury me in my high-top Stetson hat. Put a $20 gold piece on my watch chain, so the gang will know I died standing pat. I want 6 crap shooters for pallbearers, and a chorus girl to sing me a song. Put a jazz band on my hearse wagon, just to raise hell as we roll along. And 16 coal-black horses to pull that rubber-tired hack. It's 17 miles to the graveyard, but my baby's never coming back. And now that you've heard my story, I'll take another shot of booze. And if anyone should happen to ask you, I've got the St. James Infirmary blues.
Get your hankies out, yeah. Of course, there are variants of that go back to the 16th century, probably.
Yeah, that's why this guy was, he had to go to court to get his copyrighted version legitimized.
Yeah, well,
and people were challenging it and wanted it. He was trying to keep other versions from being played, and
It's like AP Carter. You change one note, change one word, copyright it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I just have this version. You know, I'm sure I've seen other versions, but they're all the ones I've seen are pretty similar to this one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I never saw that guy's name associated with any of them.
The song cycle itself is known as the Unfortunate Rake cycle. And, I know the Smithsonian Institution did a whole recording of dozens of versions of it going back a long time. But anyway, fun with copyrights.
Maybe
And
you could
I
get a
think,
copyright on the kazoo part.
yeah, Mary Jane could get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very nice.
I just have a quick thing. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to jump off. I have my friend Penny here, who's also a musician. So
Hello.
hopefully she'll join me at some point.
Yes.
But we're gonna
We'll look forward to it.
we're still gonna listen, but I'm just gonna turn off my video. But it's been so nice to hear all of you as
Yeah.
always. So,
Always nice to
love
have
from
you.
London. Okay.
Other place.
So now I believe we shall have a tune from Dave. If he's willing, I shall.
Okay.
Muting.
All right.
Muted. I'm afraid you're going to have to unmute one more time.
Okay. How's that? So, as you probably know, I've compiled about 35 songs of various types, which are basically favorite poems of mine set to music. And the music basically is traditional tunes. So this is one that I don't do very often, but I think today it's appropriate since we've lost a very good person, a very significant person yesterday, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is the funeral song from Shakespeare's play Cymbeline, Act 4, Scene 2. The melody is a Norwegian ballad in honor of the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter's rages. Thou thy worldly task hast done. Home art gone and ta'en thy wages. Golden lads and girls all must, as chimney sweepers come to dust. Fear no more the frown of the great. Thou art past the tyrant's stroke. Care no more to clothe and hate. To thee the reed is as the oak. The scepter learning physic must. All follow this and come to dust. Fear no more the lightning flash, nor the all-dreaded thunderstone. Fear not slander, censure rash. Thou hast finished joy and moan. All lovers young, all lovers must consigned to thee and come to dust. No exorciser harm thee, nor no witchcraft charm thee. Ghost unlaid forbear thee, nothing ill come near thee. Quiet consummation have, and renowned be thy grave.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Dave. That was much needed.
Karen's going to do one now.
Oh, okay, good.
She's
I'm getting
on camera
everyone again,
to
so
be
you
able
can
to hear it
unmute once
singing.
more. Okay, ready to unmute once more.
This is a favorite song of ours called the Wedding Dress Song.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites too, when you guys play it. Yeah. So, Chip, will you offer us a song? I am muting again.
All right. I was kind of bouncing back and forth whether to do a vocal song or a mandolin tune, but I think I'll do a mandolin tune. I'll do this 4 times through. This is one you probably, let me move this down. This is one, if you know Irish music, you probably know it, called the Swallowtail Jig. Key of E minor, 2 chords, E minor and D. Here we go.
Hey,
Makes you want to skip and jump.
very pretty.
Thank you.
Larry, can you give us a song? Larry.
Yeah. You know,
Okay,
this
I'm muting. Here we go. And now we're ready.
Yeah, I haven't heard any mention. You know, today's Talk Like a Pirate Day. So, in that regard, I decided to do a couple of the sea songs. And silly sea songs. Here we go. Okay, this is in. Oh my, father was a keeper in the Eddie, so I slept with the blue man one fine night. Then the soon young bear came free, a porpoise and a porgy, and the other was me. Yo ho ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. One night as I was dreaming, singing about the birds from the evening, out of the distance there came a boy, and where was he father sitting? Yo ho ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. Oh, what has become of my children? My mother, she did ask of me. One was exhibited as a talking fish, the other was served on a chafing dish. Yo ho, the wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. The phosphorus splashed in her seaweed hair. I looked again and my mother was there. Out of the distance there came a cry. To hell with the keeper of the Eddie Snow. The wind blows free. Oh, for a life on the rolling sea. Oh,
Yay, yar.
You know what? Why? No pirate jokes.
No pirate jokes. I'm tempted to do my pirate song again, but I did that pretty recently. So.
Oh, Joanna wants to say something.
Hi.
Oh.
This is not about pirates. This is about International Peace Day, and I got a notice that there are going to be 30-minute online peace concerts every night at 7, starting tonight for the next week. And Terry, I sent you the information, so maybe you could figure out how to put it on the chat.
Hi, Joanna.
Oh, okay. I'll try to figure that out.
Thanks for letting people know about that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
It'll take me a minute to get that together because I'm about to play a song now, I think. Okay. But I'll see if I can sort that out before we're done. So I'm muting everyone. Okay. Liz, did you close the door? Okay, yeah. Sorry. So this is a little Dust Bowl melody by Lee Hayes, who was that wonderful bass singer with the Weavers, if you've ever heard the Weavers. But Lee was very much an alumni of the Almanac Singers and the Weavers and all those great lefty songsters back in that period. he didn't write a lot of songs, but he gave us this one, which is really great. Times are getting hard, boys. Money's getting scarce. Things don't get no better, boys. I'm gonna leave this place. Take my true love by the hand, lead her through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone. Made a crop a year ago. It withered to the ground. Tried to get some credit, but the banker turned me down. Going to California, where everything is green. Gonna have the best old farm that anybody's seen. Take my Bible from by the bed, a shotgun from the wall. Take old Sal and hitch her up the wagon for the haul. Pile the beds and blankets high, let nothing drag the ground. Sal can pull and we can push. We're bound to leave this town. Times are getting hard, boys. Money's getting scarce. Things don't get no better, boys. Gonna leave this place. Take my true love by the hand, lead her through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone.
Yay, Terry!
Thank you.
That's a Western lullaby, if I ever heard one. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Southwestern, at least. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's one of my favorite old songs. Not one that you hear very often. So,
my dog went to sleep during that, Terry.
I wonder
That's
if
a fine testimony. I
else
put
did.
my dog to sleep all the time.
Very good. Okay, we'll take a little break, or at least I will, and begin again. Okay.
Hey, Tom. Tom, are you going to be here tomorrow for the stone soup?
I'd love to be. Love to be. Yes. 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 Yes.
You're going to be?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I had a special song I wanted to sing for both you and Rick.
Wonderful.
since
Thank
you were poets. And
Yeah.
it's a Herman Nelson song.
Oh, very good. We were there for Herman. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. Good.
And of course, if anybody else is there, which is most of us, then you'll hear it too.
Very good.
We're a versatile group.
But you know Herman, you know, so nobody else knows him, I don't think.
No. But,
Oh, Larry knows him. Oh, I'm sorry, Larry. Will you be there?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I'll try to make it the first one, you know, if you just want to tune in for a little bit and then leave, because it is a kind of a long, grueling song fest.
It's not grueling, it's tradition. To the beginning of time, it's been 3 hours. To the end of time, it'll be 3 hours.
Stuart, is there music at New World Deli?
Say what?
Is there music at New World Deli? The acoustic musicians used to be there a lot.
I don't know. I moved out of the neighborhood 3 years ago, so I'm in COVID isolation.
Okay. I was just talking with Diana. Well, here. Wonderful. Okay, I'll keep asking. Terry's back. We begin again.
Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you've heard that there's a documentary that's available on Peacock. I can't get Peacock, but it's available on there, that was made about the week that Johnny Carson turned the Late Show over to Harry Belafonte, who proceeded to interview Martin Luther King and not Teddy Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy.
Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah, right. And had Leon Bibb and just amazing people on this. Went on for a week in 1968 and has largely been forgotten. Most of the footage has been lost, but they managed to dig up some things, like particularly the interview with King. And I've heard a couple of commentaries on this on podcasts and so on. So it sounds like it's a must see if you can get to it. And the reason it comes to mind was in my bouncing around on YouTube this week, I found that Harry Belafonte had recorded a version of Times Are Getting Hard on a little album of love songs that he did. It's just great.
And it's a beautiful voice.
You might want to look that up. And still kicking, still going strong. They said he was a big help on this documentary. He was still, calling up his contacts and getting people jazzed about joining in the project. And so
he still has a Rolodex.
Yes, I'm sure he does.
Sung with a chord.
And still has a voice a bit. So. Okay, well, we begin again. Allison, I guess, are you awake, Allison?
She opted out.
Yeah, she's going to sit it out. Okay, and so we'll move right along to Sandy. So I am muting. Sandy's still with us, isn't she? Oh, there you are. Yes. I look around for the little
Big
picture.
is life.
Okay, I'm muting here. Okay, we're ready now. Yeah, another fancy flute, but you need to unmute yourself. Unmute?
There we go. Sorry.
There you go.
I'm going to play on this little tiny flute. It's in E minor. It's made out of birch. And when I was down visiting the granddaughters in Houston, I found this in their toy box because their mother had wanted a Native American flute because she thought they sounded so pretty. I said, anybody can play them. You just blow in them and move your fingers. And somehow it ended up in the toy box. And I go, hey, that thing sounds pretty good. I think I'll play it. So I asked her if I could borrow it because when I was having trouble with my hands, I could only play little tiny things. So I'm going to do a traditional Indian song called Zuni Sunset. The Zunis are a Pueblo people. They live on a reservation about 30 miles from Gallup, New Mexico. and they do all these ceremonies, and they're pretty private. But sometimes somebody went and heard the song, and now all the flute players know how to play it. So this is the Zuni. It's for their ceremony of the sunset. And the sun is gone.
Very
It's
nice.
a toy box flute.
Stuart, you need to unmute, please.
All right. I was just counting numbers. I figured it was me. Like Tom, we're kind of the exotic species that are brought in to mix among the natives to improve the general quality of the species. Am I right, Tom? Thank you. When I was a youngster, and I lived in England up to 19, and I came to the States, and then I've been traveling ever since. But when I was a youngster, I was living in a very sheltered environment in England in the days before rock and roll. That is the late 50s, very early 60s, were pretty bland in terms of what you heard on the radio. And I heard Eric Clapton do a memoir to this very thing. But there was a guy who ran a radio show on one of the 3 channels you had back there. On a Saturday morning, he played general music, children's music, ballads, music hall stuff, very bland stuff. And then every once in a while, he'd drop in a Muddy Waters track or a Howling Wolf track or a piece of Americana. And like Eric Clapton said, it just, as a youngster, you know, pre-teenager, just blew his mind. Same thing with me in a way. I remember this song, and I don't know whether I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12, but I remember this song as clearly as it was yesterday. And it's always stuck with me as a bit of Americana. And the key to the song is there's an image of a clown who's made up for a circus, whatever, and a tear forms in his face, and it just ruins his act. And it's a Burl Ives sings this song, and it's a Hank Cochran song. And it's a song called A Little Bitty Tear. Little bitty tear let me down, spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to make a frown, but a little bitty tear let me down. When you said you were leaving tomorrow, that today was our last day, I said there'd be no sorrow, that I'd laugh when you walked away. A little bitty tear let me down. Spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to make a frown. But a little bitty tear let me down. I said I'd laugh when you left me, full of funny as you went out the door, that I'd have another one waiting. I'd wave goodbye as you go. But a little bitty tear let me down. Spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to make a frown. But a little bitty tear let me down. Everything went like I planned it, and I really put on quite a show. In my heart I felt I could stand it, till you walked with your grip through the door, and a little bitty tear let me down. Spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to make a frown. But a little bitty tear let me down. A little bitty tear let me down. Spoiled my act as a clown. I had it made up not to make a frown. But a little bitty tear let me down. A little bitty tear let me down. A little bitty tear let me down.
Yay! Good one.
Hey.
We're ready.
Oh, yeah, me? Oh, yes. Okay. I can't hear you.
Is it me or Tom? Hello?
I can't hear him either.
All right. Can you hear me now? Okay. Yes? No? Okay. I've got myself on get Robot Al again, and I'm going to do a Nathan Abshire tune. He was a great Cajun accordion player, one of the guys that really helped to revive the Cajun accordion. This is a tune called the Waltz of Bayou Teche. All right. Oops. Actually, I messed up here. One, two, three, four. All right.
Very nice.
Yay! I'll tell you just a short story about me and that song. When I was just learning to play the Cajun accordion, this is back about 1985. Some friends of mine and I took a trip down to Lafayette, and this guy had told us to go over to Mamou to see if we could find Nathan Abshire. And we went to Fred's Lounge in Mamou's famous bar, and we walked in, and there was Nathan sitting there. By that time, he had sort of gotten bounced out of a couple bands. He had a drinking problem, and so he sat at our table, you know, and we bought him drinks all night, and he played song after song until the bar closed, you know. And he was not in very good shape by that time, and neither were we. So like we took him to his house. We took him to his house and just kind of helped him up on the porch, and we rang the bell and woke his wife up, you know. She was mad, but anyway, we left, and you know, we got a room in Lafayette, and then the next day we came back and we knocked on Nathan's door, and you know, wanted to see and thank him and talk to him and all this stuff. And his wife came on. She was like a big woman, about 200 kilos, you know. And so said, "You the boys that did this to Nathan? You know, just, you know, get the hell out of here, you know." And so we left, and we didn't really think much of it, you know, until we were down there about a year later, and we went into Fred's Lounge, and we asked, "Hey, is Nathan Abshire around?" You know, and this guy got real serious. He goes, "Well, you know, Nathan took sick and died about a year ago." That was like right about he had been there, you know. So I always, you know, some people, you know, don't ever get to meet their heroes, and I had the privilege of, you know, helping to kill one of them. I kind of hate to tell that story about myself, you know, but
if it wasn't you, it'd be somebody else.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, he was a great player, you know. So, well, anyway, that's the Waltz of Bayou Teche.
Wow. Hey, Terry, you seem to be, we're not hearing you, Terry. Your sound has been out the last 5 minutes.
I'll second that.
We've just been lip reading to help you out, you know, so.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yes.
Oh, it must have come loose. I hope it didn't come loose in the middle of the song.
No.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, let me be sure I've got the right microphone selected.
You're good.
Well, there you go.
You're good.
Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought we'd maybe skip over to Mark, since he must be getting pretty sleepy out there in Warsaw, and he's still with us. So can you give us another one, Mark?
Yes, I can.
Okay, muting.
Yeah. Okay, I'm here. As everyone has good stories about their songs. Mine, I was introduced to it on that as as through an episode of the X-Files, okay? This is from World War II, and it's the Mills Brothers. Till then, my darling, please wait for me. Till then, no matter where, when it will be one day, I know I'll be back again. Please wait. Till then, our dreams will live though we are apart. I love, I know it'll keep in our hearts till then. When all the world will be free, please wait for me. Although there are oceans we must cross and mountains that we must climb, I know every gain must have its loss. Then pray that our loss is nothing but time. Till then, let's dream of what there will be. Till then, we'll call on each memory. Till then, when I will hold you again, please wait. Till then, please wait. Till then.
Wow. Sweet song.
Yes.
Sweet.
Not an easy thing to sing for four men.
It's gone quiet.
Zoom crashed entirely on me in the middle of that. Did everyone else get to hear Mark's rendition? Because he's gone now. I'm not
We
sure
heard it
what
all.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed. I don't know what's going on with my stuff today. Anybody else have any trouble?
Nope.
No, it's just my system is not happy today for some reason. Let me see.
People are getting fewer and bigger. That's one thing I've noticed.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that can happen if one of the little squares drops out, everything else expands. Oh, how strange. Yeah, I'm getting a completely different angle on the camera here, but anyway. Tom.
Yep. You ready?
Stuart is wiggling his thumb, but I'm not sure what it means.
Mute.
Yeah, right. I haven't muted everyone yet. Hold on. Muting. So we're ready for Tom to unmute.
Okay. This one's for David. Very grateful for David putting poetry to music and remembering Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is an old folk tune. It's called On the Day That RBG Died, I Watched Again Every Jimi Hendrix Video. Band of Gypsies, Billy Cox, shared his Nashville Jimmy stories. Jimmy always knew he would be famous. So he prepared, he practiced, he played continuously, sometimes all night long. He would sleep with his guitar on his chest. Sometimes he was playing on Nashville streets. He went out on tours, got defrauded often. He tried, he failed, he returned, went out again. Billy Cox would often rescue him from blown out gigs or fraudulent promoters. As he rose in fame, shark promoters sued him, quoting old unread contracts. They only wanted his gold, forgetting his golden heritage. Billy Cox grew up with and played with Jimi Hendrix in many bands. He rejected the empty crack bell of fame. Work alone was enough for him. He is still playing. Work was enough for RBG, for women's rights, for our humanity. Her last wish was not to be replaced until there is a change of president. Please honor her legacy. Respect her final life wishes, and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tom.
There's a juxtaposition for you.
Our sentiments exactly.
Hey, Jimmy and RBG. Whoa, what a team, what a duo. Heroes, heroines, great. Woo-hoo.
So I'm still playing with my camera here. And Mary Jane, you're still.
I'm with you.
I think Terry is frozen out. If we all self-mute, I think you're fine to go ahead, Mary Jane.
Okay.
I think Terry's frozen in something. So
Yes.
I think we should mute ourselves and you go for it.
Yeah. Is everybody is muted now except for Terry. So, you think it's going to work? Yeah, he just left. Okay, I'm going to do When the Ship Comes In by Bob Dylan. And it's a nice song to think of having a victory every once in a while when it seems like you keep getting clobbered over the head constantly. Oh, the time will come up when the winds will stop and the breeze will cease to be breathing, like the stillness in the wind for the hurricane begins, the hour when the ship comes in. Oh, the seas will split and the ship will hit and the shoreline sands will be shaking and the tide will sound and the wind will pound and the morning will be breaking. Oh, the fishes will laugh as they swim out of the path, and the seagulls, they'll be a-smiling, and the rocks on the sand will proudly stand the hour that the ship comes in. And the words that are used for to get the ship confused will not be understood as they're spoken, for the chains of the sea will have busted in the night and be buried at the bottom of the ocean. A song will lift as the mainsail shifts and the boat drifts into the shoreline, and the sun will respect every face on the deck the hour that the ship comes in. Then the sands will roll out a carpet of gold for your weary toes to be a-touching, and the ship's wise men will remind you once again that the whole wide world is watching. Oh, the foes will rise with the sleep still in their eyes, and they'll jerk from their beds and think they're dreaming, but they'll pinch themselves and squeal and know that it's for real the hour when the ship comes in. Then they'll raise their hands saying we'll meet all your demands, but we'll shout from the bow your days are numbered, and like Pharaoh's pride they'll be drowned in the tide like Goliath, they'll be conquered.
Very nice.
Very good, very good.
Do you know I saw a documentary of the background, including the background to that song. That's when Bob was still hanging out with Joan Baez in like 1963, and Baez was famous, and Bob was an up-and-coming scruffy vagabond. They went to stay in a hotel in somewhere in the area, and they wouldn't let Bob, because Bob doesn't look like a bum. They wouldn't let him in, and they gave him a hard time. And John Baez had to plead with him to let them stay. So he stayed up all night, and he wrote that song. And that song was in protest to the hotel management. In a bigger context.
Well, that's always had greater meaning for me than that.
Well, I'm very glad to find everyone still here and carrying on quite well without me. My system completely locked up. I've never had such bad luck with Zoom on this machine, but there you are, and I'm glad you're still here. So we could let's see if I can get everything working again. Yeah, I'm still the host. A funny thing. Okay, well, if Dave can give us a song, I'll mute everyone. Did you hear me okay, Dave? I was wondering why everyone was looking so bewildered when I was calling on people. Okay, muting. So we're all ready for you.
Okay, so this is the latest one of my poem set to tunes, and it's a famous poem by John Keats called To a Nightingale, one of my favorites. It was very tricky to find a tune to fit this, but I finally came up with this one, which is a Elizabethan song called Fortune My Foe. And a drowsy numbness pains my sense, as though of hemlock I had drunk, or empty some dull opiate to the drains. 1 minute passed, and lethal words had sung. 'Tis not through envy of thy happy lot, but being too happy in thine happiness, that thou light winged dryad of the trees, in some melodious plot of beechen green and shadows numberless, singest of summer in full-throated ease. Oh, for a draught of vintage that hath been cooled a long age in the deep delved earth, tasting of flora and the country green, dance and Provençal song and sunburnt mirth. Oh, for a beaker full of the warm south, full of the true, the blushful Hippocrene, with bearded bubbles winking at the brim, and purple stained mouth, that I might drink and leave the world unseen, and with thee fade away into the forest dim. Fade far away, dissolve and quite forget what thou among the leaves hast never known. The weariness, the fever and the fret, here where men sit and hear each other groan, where palsy shakes a few sad last gray hairs, where youth grows pale and spectre thin and dies, where but to think is to be full of sorrow, and leaden-eyed despairs, where beauty cannot keep her lustrous eyes, or new love pine at them beyond tomorrow. Away, away, for I will fly to thee, not charioted by Bacchus and his pards, but on the viewless wings of poesy, though the dull brain perplexes and retards. Already with thee tender is the night, and haply the queen moon is on her throne, clustered around by all her starry face. But here there is no light, save what from the heavens is save what from heaven is with breezes blown through verdurous clones and winding mossy ways. I cannot see what flowers are at my feet, nor what soft incense hangs upon the bough, but in embalmed darkness guess each sweet, wherewith a seasonal month endows. The grass, the thicket, and the fruit tree wild, white hawthorn and the pastoral eglantine, past fading violets covered up in leaves, and mid-May's eldest child, the coming musk rose full of dewy wine, the murmurous haunts of flies on summer eves. Darkling I listen, and for many a time I have been half in love with easeful death, called him soft names in many a mused rhyme, to take into the air my quiet breath. Now more than ever seems it rich to die, to cease upon the midnight with no pain, while thou art pouring forth thy soul abroad in such an ecstasy. Still wouldst thou sing, and I have ears in vain, to thy high requiem become a sod. Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird, no hungry generations tread thee down. The voice I hear this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperor and clown. Perhaps the self-same song that found a path through the sad heart of Ruth when sick for home. She stood in tears amid the alien corn, the same that oft times hath charmed magic casements opening on the foam of perilous seas in fairylands forlorn. Forlorn, the very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul self. Adieu, the fancy cannot cheat so well as she is famed to do, deceiving elf. Adieu, adieu, plaintive anthem fades past the near meadows, over the still stream, up the hillside, and now 'tis buried deep in, up the hillside, and now 'tis buried deep in the next valley glades, in up the hillside, and now 'tis buried deep in the next valley glades. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that vision, do I wake or sleep?
Yeah. Thank you, Dave.
That's a long poem, Dave.
Same length as Barbara Allen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, Larry, do you have another song for us? I'm muting, so don't get in a hurry here. Okay. Now you can unmute. Oh, yeah, you got it? Yeah.
All right, that must be unmuted, right? Thumbs up. Terry's frozen again. Gee, I can't tell on this iPhone. All right, yeah, all right, so I'm unmuted. Okay, Terry's back with us. He's the Iceman. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what shall we do? Oh, what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Up she rises, up she rises, up she put him in the hole, but the captain's gone. Put him in the hole, but the captain's gone. Put him in the hole, but the captain's gone. That's what we do with the drunken sailor. That's what we do with the drunken sailor. That's what we do with the drunken sailor. Early in the morning.
Arr!
Yes, another one for Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Very nice. Very nice.
Speak Like a Pirate Day, September 19th.
Okay, well, I'm going to attempt to do a song here, see if my system holds out. I hope the recording comes out okay. We'll find out. No going back now, but I think it's all right. Okay, muting everyone else. All right. Okay, now this is a song that was recorded by Gid Tanner and the Skillet Lickers back in North Carolina in the 20s, but has been done since by everyone in country music and other genres as well. And I was skipping around on YouTube trying to just count the number of versions, and I found versions by Etta Baker and Leadbelly and Les Paul and Mary Ford and Jerry Reed and Grandpa Jones and on and on. One of the best was Jerry Reed and the Hee Haw Gang. It was, so I recommend looking that up. Anyway, it's dedicated to Donald J. Trump, and it's called Bully of the Town. Have you heard about the bully of the town? He's out among the poor folks and knocking people down, and I'm looking for the bully of the town. As I walk this levee round, every night I can be found. As I walk this levee round, I'm looking for the bully of the town. walks into a juice joint and lays his money down. He orders up a drink and then he starts pushing folks around. 'Cause I'm looking for the bully of the town. Now I'm a Tennessee rounder and I just can't allow no loudmouth redneck roust about with me to raise the row. And I'm looking for the bully to make him bow. As I walk this levee round, every night I can be found. As I walk this levee round, I'm looking for the bully of the town. The sheriff deputized me, put a pistol in my hand. He said, watch out for that bully, he's wild and woolly man. And I'm looking for that bully to make him stand. He has a reputation, and brother, how he struts. But if I run into him tonight, he's gonna need some guts. 'Cause I'm looking for the bully of the town. As I walk the levee round, every night I can be found. As I walk this levee round, I'm looking for the bully of the town. When I catch that bully, don't call no doctor or no nurse. He ain't gonna need no ambulance, he's gonna, 'cause I'm looking for the bully of the town. As I walk this levee round, every night I can be found. As I walk this levee round, I'm looking for the bully of the town. As I walk this levee round, I'm looking for the bully of the town. Tough guy, huh?
Yay!
Thank you, thank you. Well, I guess I shall bid you all adieu until tomorrow night with Stone Soup Sessions.
Quick
I hope
question.
Yeah.
Quick question. What was the name of the Lee Hayes song?
Oh, times. I think it's just times are getting hard.
Time's getting hard. Thank you. That's a lovely song.
It is a lovely song.
I'm gonna look that one up. Hey, cheers.
And the guitar arrangement is actually pretty much note for note Pete Seeger's work. So if you look up Pete's rendition, you'll get the guitar arrangement
Well,
too.
I got two less strings, so it doesn't bother me. So.
Okay. No, it's a lovely guitar arrangement too, and I just
It's very
didn't
sweet.
think I could improve upon it at all. So, yeah, Pete Seeger's has always been one of the most underrated instrumentalists.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers it for his singing, but his instrumentals they weren't fancy, but they were effective like that. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope the recording came out okay. I'll let you guys know, and see you tomorrow then.
All right.
Everybody
See you
else,
then.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.